Hello. Today I will be covering practice and performance considerations for Ferling Etude number 7. Please take out your Ferling book now and follow along, annotating where you see beneficial. The key is E minor, so now I will run the scales and patterns associated with E minor. There are a couple places where sense of vibrato is appropriate. Since measures 2 and 3 have a piano dynamic, the B, A, and G can be played without vibrato. This also applies to the G in measure 5 and for the tapered notes at the end of phrases in the rest of this etude. Line 2, measure 3, has a decrescendo and taper to the quarter note G. Line 2, measure 5, has a decrescendo ascending to B. Line 3, measure 5, has a decrescendo to low D sharp and E. Line 5, measures 3 and 4 have a decrescendo to E. In each of these sections, the quarter note may be played with no vibrato. Here is the end of line 2. For trills on half notes, you can stop the trill on the last eighth note value, which in this etude is the 4th eighth note. In line 5, measure 2, we see a C to D trill. You can use regular D or LSK1 for the first note of the trill, C to D. Then you can use C plus LSK2 after that. The tuning on every setup and instrument varies. If the D with this fingering is very sharp, consider the following. You could use side C the entire time. The entire time you would hold down RSK2. Then you would rock back and forth slowly between B and L1. You would do this a couple of times before holding down B and trilling with LSK1. This fingering will have a tendency to be flat, while the first one will tend to be sharp. You'd want to use a tuner in your ear to find the best option for your horn. This is how the side C might sound. Next, we will talk about fingerings. There are 2 ways to play the opening phrase, with standard fingerings or palm key fingerings. With standard fingerings, use the star C sharp fingering on the grace notes. From D sharp, lift up finger 1 and 2 in the left hand to produce C sharp. For the palm key fingering version, you can use L3 and R4 if you have a modern horn. If you have a vintage horn without the high F sharp key, which is RSK4, this fingering will not work. E will use L3 and R4, and D sharp will use just L3. line 3, measure 1, there is a C sharp diminished arpeggio. Be sure to use Biz A sharp for this arpeggiation. And now for a performance of Ferling Etude number 7.